Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and it hath us befitted to bear our hearts with grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we with wisest sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with one auspicious and one dropping eye, with mirth in funeral and dirge in marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Now follows that you know young Fortinbras, holding a weak supposal of our worth, or thinking by our late dear brother's death our estate be disjoint and out of frame, collegiate with the dream of his advantage, he hath not failed to pester us with message, importing the surrender of those lands lost by his fall. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is Laertes? What wouldst thou beg that shall not be my offer, not thy asking? The head is not more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the eye, than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
My dread lord, your leave and favor to return to France.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave. I pray you give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes. Time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet and my son.
A little more than kin, and less than kind.
How is the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted colour off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common, all that lives.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam? Nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspiration of forced breath, nor the fruitful river in the eye, nor the dejected haviour of the visage. These indeed seem, for their actions that a man might play. But I have that within which passeth show. These but the trappings, and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your foe. But to persever in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you. to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye. Our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I will in all my best obey you, madam.
Tis a loving and a fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come. This gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart. Come away.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, resolve itself into a dew, that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. God, it should come to this. But 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this, Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth must I remember. But she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on. And yet within a month, oh God, a beast that wants discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with mine uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. A little month ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left a flushing in her gullet eyes. She married. O most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. But break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
Where is she? Or I do forget myself. What made you from Wittenberg?
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
Prithee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wed.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. Would I met my dearest foe in heaven ere I had seen that day. Good father.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw?
The king, my lord, your father.
King, my father.
Season your admiration for a while with an attentive till I may deliver, upon the witness of this gentleman, these marvels to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
2 nights had this gentleman, Bernardo, on his watch in the dead vast the middle of the night been thus encountered. A figure like your father, armed at point exactly, cap a pay, appears before him, whilst he distilled, almost to jelly with the act of fear, stand dumb and speak not to him. I with him the 3rd night kept the watch. The apparition comes. I knew your father. These hands are not more like.
Did you not speak to him?
I did, my lord, but answer made it none.
It's very strange.
As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true.
Very like. Hold you to the watch again tonight.
I do, my lord.
Armed, say you?
Armed, my lord.
Or would I have been there?
It would have much amazed you.
Indeed. I'll watch again tonight. Perchance we'll walk again. Very well. I'll visit you.
My duty to your honor.
Your love's as mine to you. Farewell. My father's spirit in arms. All is not well. I doubt some foul play, Horatio. Would the night were come. Till then sit still, my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth o'erwhelm them to men's eyes.
Father! A royal Dane, answer me!
You think you go with it? As if it's some impartment to desire to you alone.
Look with what courteous action it waves you to a more removed ground. Do not go with it.
Do not, my lord.
It will not speak, I will follow.
No, by no means.
Why? What should be the fear?
What if it tempts you to the flood, my lord? Or to the dreadful summit of the cliff that beetles or his base into the sea, and there assume some other horrible form which might deprive your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness? Think of it.
Waves me on. I'll follow. You shall not go, my lord.
Be rude, you shall not go.
My fate cries out, by heaven, I'll make a ghost of him that lets me. I say away.
Hamlet! Hamlet! Lord Hamlet!
For memory holds a seat in this distracted globe. Yea, I'll wipe away from the table of my memory all trivial fond records. I've sworn it. Now to my word. Adieu. Adieu.
Lord Hamlet! Hello, ho, ho, my lord!
Ho, 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 birds! Come, birds, come. How is my noble lord?
Good, my lord, what news?
Oh, wonderful.
Pray, my lord, tell it.
I think it fit we shake hands and part. As you are friends, scholars, soldiers, grant me one poor request.
What is, my lord, we will.
Never make known what you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Swear it. Upon my sword.
My lord, we have sworn already.
Nay, swear upon my sword. Never make known what you have seen tonight.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. For Hamlet, and the trifling of his favor, hold it a fashion and a toy in blood, nothing more.
No more but so.
You must fear. His greatness weighed. His will is not his own. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself, for on his choice depends the health and safety of this whole state. Bear it, my dear sister.
Get here, Laertes! Aboard, for shame! The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. There. My blessing go with thee. And these few precepts in thy memory, see thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast, and their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel. But do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new-hatched, unfledged comrade. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. This above all, to thine own self be true. And it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell. My blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord. Farewell, Ophelia. And remember well what I've said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is it, Ophelia, he hath said to you?
So please you something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Marry, well bethought. Told me he has very oft of late given time to you, and you yourself have with your audience been most free and bounteous. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection? Oh. You speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
Mary, I'll teach you. Think yourself a baby. That you have taken these tenders for true pay, which are not sterling. Tender yourself more dearly, or, not to crack the wind of the poor phrase running it thus, you'll tender me a fool. Go to. I do know, when the blood burns, how prodigal the soul lends the tongue. Vows, these blazes, daughter, you must not take for fire. From this time, be somewhat scanter of your maiden presence. As for the Lord Hamlet, believe this of him, that he is young, and with a larger tether may he walk than may be given thee. plain terms, I would not have you slander any moment's leisure by giving words or talk with the Lord. To it I charge you. Come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.
Oh, give me leave. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God of mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent well. You are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Then I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord?
Aye. For to be honest as this world goes is to be one man picked out of 10 million.
That is very true, my lord.
For if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog, being a god, kissing carrion, have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive. Friend, look to it.
Still harping on my daughter. And truly in my youth, I suffered much extremity for love. Very near this. I'll speak to him again. What do you read, my lord?
Words. 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 O Jephthah, judge of Israel, what a treasure hadst thou?
What treasure had he, my lord?
Why, one fair daughter, no more, the which he loved passing well.
Still on my daughter, though this be madness, yet there is method in it.
Am I not in the right, old Jephthah?
If you call me Jephthah, my lord, I have a daughter that I love passing well.
No, that follows not.
What follows then, my lord?
As by lot. God wot. Look where my abridgment comes. Now Lot went out of Zohar and dwelt in the hills with his 2 daughters. And the firstborn said to the younger, Our father is old, and there's not a man to come into us after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him. Thus both daughters of Lot were with child by their father.
How pregnant sometimes his replies are. This is a happiness that madness often grants, which reason and sanity could not so prosperously be delivered of. I will leave him and suddenly make a meeting between him and my daughter. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave?
Oh, that is indeed out of the air. My honorable lord, I will most humbly take your leave.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything I will more willingly part with all, except my life. Except my life.
Fare you well, my lord.
These tedious old fools.
The ambassadors from Norway, good my lord, are joyfully returned.
Thou still hast been the father of good news.
Have I, my lord? And I do think that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Speak of that. That I do long to hear.
My liege and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day, night, night, and time is time, were nothing but to waste day, night, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad, call I it. For to define true madness, what is it to be nothing else but mad? But let that go.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true, 'tis pity, and pity 'tis true. A foolish figure. Mad let us grant him then. And now remains that we find out the cause of this effect. Or rather say the cause of this defect. For this effect, defective is by cause perpend. I have a daughter. Have while she is mine, who in her duty and obedience hath shown me this. To the celestial and my soul's idol, in her excellent white bosom,
Came this from Hamlet to her.
Madam, stay a while. I will be faithful. Doubt thou the stars are fire? Doubt that the sun doth move? Doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Adieu, Hamlet. This in her obedience she hath given me.
But how hath she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As of a man, faithful and honorable.
I would fain prove so. But what might you think when I have seen this hot love on the wing? What might you think? No, I went round to work, and my young mistress, thus did I bespeak that she should lock herself from his resort. This being done, she took the fruits of my advice, and he, repulsed, a short tale to make, fell into the madness wherein now he raves.
Do you think 'tis thus?
It may be. Very likely.
Take this from this, if this be otherwise.
How may we try it further?
You know he walks sometimes 4 hours together in the lobby here.
So he does indeed.
At such a time, I'll loose my daughter to him. Let you and I be behind an arras then. Mark the encounter. If he love her not, and be not fallen from his sanity thereon, let me be no assistant for a state, but keep a farm and carters.
We will try it. Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. The need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something you have heard of Hamlet's transformation, so call it? I entreat you both that you vouchsafe your rest here in our court some little time, so by your company to draw him on to pleasures and to gather, so much as from occasion you may glean whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus, that opened lies within our remedy.
Your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesties might, by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent, to lay our service freely at your feet, to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern and genteel Rosencrantz. And I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son.
Excellent friends. Guildenstern. How do you go?
Oh, happy that we are not over happy, my lord. Unfortunate's captor, not the very button.
Or the soles of her shoes.
Neither, my lord.
Then you live about her waist, or in the middle of her form?
Faith or private suite.
The secret parts of fortune. Most true, she is a strumpet. What's the news? What have you deserved at the hands of fortune that she brings you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord.
Denmark's a prison.
Then is the world one?
A goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards, dungeons. Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
Why then 'tis none to you. There's nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me it is a prison.
Why then your ambition makes it one, 'tis too narrow for your mind.
Ooh, I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself the king of infinite space, were it not that I have bad dreams.
Which dreams indeed are ambition. For the very substance of the ambitious is merely a shadow of a dream.
A dream itself is but a shadow.
But in the beaten way of friendship, what make you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord, no other occasion.
Beggar that I am even poor in thanks. Were you not sent for? Is it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, deal justly with me. Speak.
What should we say, my lord?
Why, anything but to the purpose. You were sent for. There's a kind of confession in your looks which your modesties have not craft enough to color. The good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
Well, that you must teach me. But first, let me conjure you by the rights of our fellowship, by the consonancy of our youth, by the obligation of our ever-preserved love. Be even and direct with me, whether you were sent for or no. Nay then, I'll have an eye of you. If you love me, hold my oath.
My lord, we were sent for.
I will tell you why. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery, and your secrecy to the king and queen moult no feather. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercises. And indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you, this brave o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with golden fire, Why? It appeareth no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is a man's.
How noble in reason.
How infinite in faculties.
In form and moving, how express and admirable.
In action, how like an angel.
In apprehension, how like a god.
The beauty of the world.
Paragon of animals.
And yet, to me, what is this? Quintessence of dust? Man delights not me. No, woman neither. Gentlemen, you're welcome to Elsinore. Your hands. The appurtenance of welcome is fashion and ceremony. But my uncle, mother, and aunt, father are deceived.
In what, my dear lord?
I am but mad northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw. To be or not to be?
That is the question.
Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die? To sleep? No more? And by sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to? 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished, to die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin? Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and enterprises of great pith and moment, with this regard that currents turn awry and lose the name of action.
He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause he will by no means speak.
Nor do we find him forward to be sounded, but with a crafty madness. Keeps aloof when we bring him on to some confession of his true state.
Did he receive you well?
Most like a gentleman.
But with much forcing of his disposition.
Did you assay him? To any pastime?
Madam, it so fell out that a certain player we o'erwrought on the way, and there did seem in him a kind of joy to hear of it.
And it doth much content me to hear him so inclined. Good gentlemen, give him a further edge and drive his purpose on to these delights.
We shall, my lord.
Be good. Lead us to. We have closely sent for Hamlet hither, that he may hear, as 'twere by accident, affront Ophelia, her father and myself, lawful espials, will so bestow ourselves that, seeing unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge and gather by him as he has behaved, if it be the affliction of his love, or know that thus he suffers for.
Ophelia, walk you there. My lord, so please you, we will bestow ourselves. Read on this book. It is too much proved that with devotion's visage and pious action we sugar o'er the devil himself.
Let's withdraw.
I have remembrances of yours I have longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
I never gave you aught.
My lord, you know right well you did. And with them words of so sweet breath composed as made the things more rich. Take these again, for to the noble mind rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord?
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
If you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty?
Aye, for the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd, than the force of honesty can transform beauty into his likeness. I did love you once.
Indeed, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. Nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? The virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? Farewell.
Love, his affections do not that way tend. Nobody spake or like former little was not like man. There's something in his soul, o'er which his melancholy sits unbrewed. And I do doubt the hatch to disclose will be some danger, which for to prevent I have in quick determination thus set it down. He shall with speed to England for the demand of our neglected tribute. What think you on't?
It shall do well, but yet I do believe the origin, commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. How now, Ophelia, you need not tell us what Lord Hamlet said. We heard it all. My lord, do as you please, but if you hold it fit, after the play, let the queen his mother, all alone, entreat him to show his grief. Let her be round with him, and I will be placed, so please you, in the ear of all their conference. If she find him not, to England send him, or confine him where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness and great ones must not unwatched go.
Well be with you, gentlemen.
O prophesy, he comes to tell me of the player.
My lord, I have news for you.
My lord, I have news for you. When Roscius was an actor in...
The actor has come hither.
Buzz, buzz.
Upon my honor.
And came each actor on his ass.
The best actor in the world. For tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, pastoral comical, historical pastoral, tragical historical, tragical comical historical pastoral. Scene indivisible, or poem unlimited, Seneca is not too heavy nor Plotus too light. By the law of writ and liberty, this is the only man.
You're welcome, sir. I'm glad to see thee well. Let the player be well bestowed. Let him be well used. For actors are the abstract and brief chronicle of the time.
I shall use him according to his desert, my lord.
God's bodkins, man, much better. Use every man after his own desert, and who should escape whipping? Use them after your own honor and dignity. The less they deserve, the more merit is in your bounty. Take him in.
Come, sir.
Friend, you know the murder of Gonzaga?
Aye, my lord.
We'll have it tomorrow night. You could for a need study a speech of some 12 or 16 lines which I would set down and insert in it, could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Very well. Follow that lord, and look you, mock him not. I'll have this player play something like the murder of my father. I'll observe his looks. If he but blench, I know my course. The spirit that I've seen may be the devil, and the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape. Yea, I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king. Speak the speech, I pray, as I pronounced it to you trippingly on the tongue. But if you mouth it, as many of our players do, I had his leave the town crier spoke my lines. Nor do not saw the air too much with your hands thus, but use all gently. From the very torrent, tempest, as I may say, the whirlwind of your passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness. Oh, it offends me to the soul to hear a robustious, periwig-pated fellow tear a passion to tatters, to very rags. I would have such a fellow whipped for o'erdoing termagant. It out Herod's Herod, I pray you avoid it.
I warrant, your honor.
Be not too tame neither. Let your own discretion be your tutor. Suit the word to the action to the word. The purpose of playing was and is, as 'twere, to hold the mirror up to nature. Oh, there be players that I've seen play and heard others praised, and that highly, who have so strutted and bellowed that I had thought some of nature's journeymen had made men and not made them well. They imitated humanity so abominably.
I hope we have reformed that indifferently with us, sir.
Reform it altogether.
The croaking...
Go. Make you ready.
Aye, will the king hear this piece of work?
And the queen too, and presently.
Bid the player make haste. Give me that man that is not a passion's slave, and I'll wear him in my heart's core. Aye, in my heart of heart, as I do thee. Something too much of this. There's a play tonight before the king, one scene of which comes very near the circumstance, as I told thee, of my father's death. I pray thee, when thou seest that act afoot, observe mine uncle. If his occulted guilt do not itself unkennel in one speech, it is a damned ghost that we have seen, and my imaginations are as foul as Vulcan is stithy.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
In faith of the chameleon's dish, I eat the air. Promise, crab.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
Nor mine now.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet. Sit by me.
No, good mother. Here's metal more attractive. Lady, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my lord.
I mean my head upon your lap. Do you think I meant country matters?
I think nothing, my lord.
It's a fair thought to lie between maids' legs.
What is, my lord?
Nothing.
You are merry, my lord.
What should a man do but be merry? Look how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within these 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lord.
So long? Died 2 months ago, and not forgotten yet. Then there's hope a great man's memory may outlive his life half a year.
For us, and for our tragedy, here stooping to your clemency, we beg your hearing patiently.
'Tis brief, my lord.
As woman's love?
Have you heard the argument? Is there no offense in it?
No. No, they do but jest. Poisoned in jest. But what of that? Your majesty and we that have free souls, it touches us not. This is one Lucianus, nephew to the king.
What do you call the play?
The Mousetrap. Marry how? 'Tis the image of a murder, done in Vienna. Gonzago is the duke's name, his wife, Baptista. You should see a nun, 'tis a knavish piece of work. Come, begin. Leave the damnable faces and begin. The croaking raven doth bellow for revenge.
The croaking raven doth bellow for revenge. Thoughts black, hands apt, drugs fit, and time agreeing. Confederate season, else no creature seeing. Thou mixture rank with midnight weeds collected, with Hecate's band thrice blasted, thrice infected, thy natural magic and thy dire property, unwholesome life usurp immediately.
Poisons him in the garden for his estate. The story is extant, written in choice Italian. You should see a nun, how the murderer gets the love of Gonzago's wife. What? Frighted with false fire?
How fares my lord?
Give o'er the play.
I'll take the ghost's word for £1,000. Didst thou perceive?
Very well, my lord.
Upon the talk of poison?
I did very well note him.
My lord, the king, sir.
What of him?
Is in his retirement marvelous distempered.
With drink?
No, my lord, rather with power.
Your wisdom should show this more richer to signify this to his doctor. For me to put him to his purgation would perhaps plunge him into far more calm.
Good my lord, put your discourse into some frame. Start not so wildly from my affair.
I am tame. Pronounce.
The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, hath sent me to you.
You're welcome.
Nay, good my lord, this courtesy is not of the right breed. If it shall please you to make me a wholesome answer, I will do your mother's commandment.
Sir, I cannot.
What, my lord?
Make you a wholesome answer. My wit's diseased. But such answer as I can make, you shall command. Or rather, as you say, my mother.
Then thus she says, your behavior hath struck her into amazement and admiration.
A wonderful son that can so astonish a mother.
She desires to speak to you.
I will obey, were she 10 times our mother. Besides, that I can keep your counsel and not mine own, and to be demanded of a sponge.
Take me for a sponge, my lord?
Aye, sir, that soaks up the king's countenances, his rewards, his authorities. But such officers do the king best service in the end. When he needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you, and sponge, you shall be dry again.
I understand you not, my lord.
Will you play upon this pipe?
My lord, I cannot.
I beseech you.
Believe me, I cannot.
Pray.
I know no touch of it, my lord.
'Tis as easy as lying. Govern these vantages with your fingers and thumb. Give it breath with your mouth. It will discourse most eloquent music. Look you, here are the stops.
But these cannot I command to any utterance of harmony, my lord. I have not the skill.
Why, look you how unworthy a thing you would make of me. You would seem to know my stops. You would pluck out the heart of my mystery. You would sound me from my lowest note to the top of my compass. And yet there is much music, excellent voice in this little organ. Yet you cannot make it speak. Blood. Do you think I'm easy to be played on than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will, though you can fret me, you cannot play upon me.
God bless you, sir. My lord, the queen, your mother, would speak with you presently.
And I will come to my mother by and by.
I will say so.
By and by is easily said. Leave me, friends.
Oh, my offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it. A brother's murder. What if this hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? But oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder. That cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder. My crown, my own ambition, and my queen. Can one be pardoned and still retain the offense? What can repentance when one cannot repent? Oh, wretched state. timid soul that's struggling to be free art more engaged. Help, angels, make a say. My words fly up. My thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
So he goes to heaven. And so I am revenged. That would be scanned. A villain kills my father, and for that I, his sole son, do send to heaven. No. When he is drunk, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, then trip him. That his heels may kick at heaven, and his soul may be damned and black as hell whereto it goes.
He will come straight. Look you, lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear. I pray you, be round with him.
I hear him coming. Fear me not.
Now, mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, come. You answer with an idle tongue.
Go, go. You question with a wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Have you forgot me?
No, by the rude not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife. And would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay, then I'll set those to you that can speak.
Come, come. And sit you down.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me! Help!
Help! What? A rat? Dead!
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this!
Almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother?
'As kill a king.
'Twas my word. Thou wretched, rash, and shrieking fool. Farewell. I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortune. Look here, upon this picture, and upon this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow. Hyperion's curls, the front of Jove himself. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. This is your husband like a mildewed ear blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? What devil was it that hath cozened you at Hoodman blind? Eyes without feeling, feeling without sight. Ears without hands, seeing, sans all. Oh, shame, where is thy blush?
Speak no more. Thou turn'st mine eyes into my very soul. And there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave their tinct.
Nay, but to live in the rank and sweat of an enseamed bed, stewed in corruption, making love over the nasty sty.
No more! These words like daggers enter in my ears. No more, sweet Hamlet, no more.
A murderer and a villain, a slave that is not 1/20th part the tithe of your precedent lord, a cutpurse of the nation and the rule,
No more.
a king of shreds and patches.
Thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Throw away the worser part of it, and live the pure with the other half. Good night. But go not to my uncle's bed. Assume a virtue. if you have it not. For this same Lord I do repent, but heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this, and this with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him, and will answer well the death I gave him. Once again, good night. I'll lug the guts into a neighbor room. I must be cruel, only to be kind. Thus bad begins, and worse remains behind.
Now, Hamlet, where is Polonius?
In heaven. Send hither to see. But if your messenger find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. Indeed, if you find him not within this month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs into the lobby.
Go, seek him there.
He will stay till you come.
Now, Hamlet, as we do dearly grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence with firing fingers for England.
For England?
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So is it, if thou knewest our purposes.
I think I see a cherub that sees them. But come, for England. Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother. Father and mother are man and wife. Man and wife are one flesh. Therefore, my mother. Come, for England.
Away! How dangerous is it that this man goes loose? It must not we put the distracted law on him. Hence my prayer that his seals are done, that else leans only in there. The letter, conjuring to that, affects the present death of Hamlet. Do it. But like the hectic in my blood, he rages, and thou must cure me. Till I know 'tis done, how have my haps, my joys when they're begun.
To my sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each toy seems prologue to some great amiss. So full of artless jealousy is guilt, it spills itself, in fearing to be spilt.
Where's the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia?
Lord, we know what we are, but we know not what we may be. May God be at your table. Quoth she, before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. So what I had done by yonder sun hadst thou not come to my bed.
How long hath she been thus?
We must be patient. I hope all will be well. But I cannot choose but weep to think that they will lay him in the cold ground. My brothers know of this. And so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies.
Give her good water, pray. This is the poison of deep grief. Springs all from her father's death. Oh, Gertrude, Gertrude. When sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First her father slain, next your son gone. Poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment, without the which we are pictures or mere beasts. Oh, my dear Gertrude, this like to a murdering peace in many places gives me superfluous death.
Give me leave. Here lies the water. Good. Here stands the man. Good. If the man goes to the water and drowns himself, it is willy-nilly he goes. Mark you that. But if the water goes to the man and drowns him, he drowns not himself. Argo, she who's not guilty of her own death shortens not her own life. In youth when I did love, methought 'twas very sweet to contract o' the time. Oh my behove, methought was nothing meet. A pickaxe and a spade, for in a shrouding sheet. A pit of clay for to be made, for such a guest is meet.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business that he sings at grave-making?
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
I'll speak to this fellow. Whose grave's this, sirrah?
Mine, sir.
I think it be thine, for thou liest in it.
You lie out on it, sir, and therefore it is not yours. I do not lie in it, and yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie in it. But to be in it and say it is thine, 'tis for the dead, not for the quick. Therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir. 'Twill again from me to you.
We must speak by the card, or equivocation will undo us. How absolute the knave is. How long hast thou been a grave maker?
I have been sexton here, man and boy, 30 years. A horse and mad fellows it was. Whose do you think it was?
I know not.
A pestilence on him for a mad rogue. I poured a flagon of Rhenish on my head once. This same skull, sir, is Yorick's skull. The king's jester.
This? That. Poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times. Now how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rims at it. You hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? We gambled. The songs, the flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar. Not one now to mock your own grinning. Tell me one thing, Horatio.
What's that, my lord?
You think Alexander looked to this fashion in the earth?
Think so.
To what base uses may we return? May not the imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander till he find it stopping a bunghole?
'Twere to consider, too curiously to consider so. Imperious Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away.
Now must your conscience my acquaintance seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend. And with the knowing ear that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
Tell me why you proceeded not against these feats, so crimeful and so capital in nature.
Two special reasons. The Queen, his mother, lives almost by his looks. And for myself, my virtue or my plague, be it either which, I could not but by her. The other motive is the great love the general gender bear him, who, dipping all his faults in their affections, convert his gyves to graces. How now? What news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet.
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord. They say, I saw them not.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. I am mighty. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see thy kingly eyes, when I shall, just asking your pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return, Hamlet. What should this mean?
Why, even in that was heaven ordinate. I had my father's signet in my purse, which is the very model of that Danish seal. Folded the writ up in form of the other, subscribed it, placed it safely, the changeling never known.
So Guildenstern and Rosencrantz go to it.
Friend, they did make love to this employment. They are not near my conscience.
Why, what a king is this?
He that hath killed my king and whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, and with such cozenage, is it not perfect conscience to quit him with this arm? How all occasions do inform against me and spur my dull revenge.
Can you advise me?
I'm lost in it, my lord, but let him come. It warms the very sickness of my heart that I shall live and tell him to his teeth, thus diest thou.
What is a man if his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed?
A beast no more.
Sure. He that made us with such large discourse, looking before and after, gave us not that capability and godlike reason to fuss in us unused.
If it be so, Laertes, as how should it be so, how otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord, so that you will not o'errule me to a peace, the rather, if you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
It falls right. Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake to prove yourself your father's son, indeed more than words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds. But good Laertes, Hamlet returned shall know you are come home. We'll put on those shall praise your excellence.
Sir, here is newly come to court Laertes. Believe me, an absolute gentleman, full of most excellent differences, of very soft society and great showing. Indeed, to speak feelingly of him, he is a card or calendar of gentry. The king, sir, hath laid that in a dozen passes between yourself and him he shall not exceed you 3 hits.
And put a wager on your heads. He, being remiss, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease or with a little shuffling you may choose a sword unbaited, and with a pass of practice requite him for your father.
I'll do it. And for that purpose I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank so mortal that but dip a knife in it, where it draws blood, no cataplasm so rare under the moon can save the thing from death that is but scratched withal. I'll touch my point with this contagion, that if it gall him slightly, it may be death.
I will walk here in the hall, if it please his majesty. 'Tis the breathing time of day with me. Let the foils be brought. I will win for him if I can. If not, I will suffer nothing but my shame and the odd hits.
Shall I re-deliver you, Yinsil?
After what flourish you will.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Let's further think on this. If this should fail, this project should have a back or second that might hold. Let me see.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. If he hath been in France, I've been in continual practice. Besides, I'll win at the odds. Still, thou wouldst not think how ill's all here about my heart.
I have it. When in your motion you are hot and dry, and he calls for drink, I'll have a chalice prepared for the nonce, that he whereon but sipping, it should you by chance escape your venomous stock, our purpose will serve there.
There's a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, it will come.
If it be not to come, it will be now.
Yet if it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all.
How now, gentle queen?
When woe doth tread upon another's heels, so fast they follow your sisters drowned, Laertes.
Drowned?
Drowned.
Oh. Where?
There is a willow, grows askant the brook, that shows his hoary leaves in the glassy stream. Therewith fantastic garlands did she make of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples, that liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant boughs a crownet weeds, clambering to hang an envious sliver broke, and down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook. And mermaid-like, awhile they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old laws, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued unto that element, but long it could not be, till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. Adieu, my lord.
Let's follow, Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now I fear this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow. Come, Hamlet, come.
Give me your pardon, sir. I've done you wrong, but pardon as you're a gentleman. This presence knows, and you must needs have heard how I'm punished with sore distraction. What might I have done that might your nature honor, and exception rudely awake, I here proclaim was madness. Was it Hamlet wrong, Laertes? Never Hamlet. If Hamlet from himself be taken away, and when he's not himself does wrong Laertes, then Hamlet denies it. Who does it then? His madness. If it be so, Hamlet is of the faction that is wronged. His madness is poor Hamlet's enemy. Sir, in this audience, let my disclaiming from a proposed evil Free me so far in your most generous thoughts that I've shut mine heir aboard the house and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature. Whose motive in this case should stir me most to my revenge, but in my terms of honor I stand aloof, and will no reconcilement till by some elder masters of known honor. I have a voice and precedent of peace to keep my name ungored.
I embrace it freely. Will this brother's wager frankly play? Come, give us the foils.
Come, one for me.
I'll be your foil, Laertes. For in mine ignorance, your skill shall like a star in the darkest night stick fiery off indeed.
You mock me, sir.
No, by this hand, not so.
Hamlet, you know the wager.
Indeed. You've laid the odds on the weaker side.
Oh, I do not fear it. Come, begin, and you, the judge. Bear a wary eye.
Come on, then. Oh, 1.
No.
Judgment?
A hit. A very palpable hit.
Stay. Bring the drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
Set it by a while. I'll play this bout first.
Another touch. What say you?
A touch. Touch, I do confess.
The queen carouses. To thy fortune.
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord, I pray you pardon me. Let me wipe thy face.
My lord, I'll hit him now.
I do not think it.
And yet 'tis almost against my conscience.
Come for the third, Laertes, you but dally. Nay, come with your best violence.
Come on.
Nothing. Not away.
Have at you now.
Nay, come again.
They bleed on both sides.
Oh,
How does the Queen?
Wounds to see them bleed.
no, no. The drink. My dear Hamlet, the drink. Oh, I'm weak and...
Let the doors be shut! Seek out!
It is here, Hamlet, Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The queen is poisoned, I can no more. The king! The king's to blame.
And villain, do thy work.
He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not on thee, nor thine on me.
Horatio, I'm dead. Thou livest. O wretched queen, adieu. But let it be. I am dead, Horatio. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I'm more an antique Roman than a Dane. Here's yet some liquor left.
As our man, give me the cup. By heaven, I'll have it. Good Horatio. But a wounded name, things standing thus unknown, lives behind me. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, from this harsh world to draw thy breath in pain, to tell my story. The rest is silence.
Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. What is it you would see? If aught of woe or wonder, cease your search, and let me speak to the yet unknowing world how these things came about. So shall you hear of carnal, bloody, and unnatural acts, of accidental judgments, casual slaughters, of deaths put on by cunning and forced cause, and in this upshot purposes mistook, fallen on the inventors' heads. All this can I truly deliver.